All right. So, where to begin? I'm not going to begin with the glitches because I have actually started submitting some of the glitches I found, or bugs rather. I wouldn't call them glitches, because I mean they're not really glitches. I haven't found anything game breaking yet, so to speak. But this, you may have noticed that this popped off a little bit. Okay, there's actually there's one other thing I want to talk about too. I made a thread, and this is a very interesting thread. Let's start with this one. It's a short little thread. I'm just curious about it. So I've learned a few things from this thread. The main idea behind it was to hopefully get an understanding as to why people are here, just in general. I mean, why not, right? I've seen the same names for the last like 2 months. I'm sure everyone else has also seen the same names for like the last 2 months, but we all have differing opinions, and I feel like it's only fair that we know why we're here, because the amount of times I have seen I say Jimsid or like Screwed, but basically people of that nature just fucking calling out like, oh, you're a fucking bigot, you're brigading these forums, hijacking and whatnot. And it's like, most of the time I would give people the benefit of the doubt that they're not here to just fucking, spout slurs, okay? They're not here to just troll. I imagine they're here to just voice their own opinion on the game, and that should be taken into account. But when people like Screwed coming in, being like, I'm not going to listen to you because just brigading the forums and whatnot, I find that interesting. Other way around as well too. I've seen people that are just calling out like, oh man, how could you ever like this fucking racist propaganda bullshit? That's still happening now, by the way. There's still like 1 or 2 posts that are like that, without like, and then calling anybody who likes it, fucking a leftist or a wokey or some shit like that, like that kind of stuff. And I'm curious about it, because the people who are here and have been here and are still talking here probably have their own reasons for why they're here in the first place and why they continue to be here. Somebody like Screwed, for example, I don't know what he's doing. He was here, and he was here for a while, and now he's not. He's gone. He's been gone for like about a month now. He hasn't said anything. I don't know what he's done or what he's doing. Maybe he's just hibernating. But like, I guess he's got games to play, I suppose. I guess he's out there playing games right now. Same thing with Jimsid as well. Jimsid was here talking up a storm over and over and over again, and then disappeared for like a week or so. I say a week or so because he came back last night, and he might come back again tonight. So who knows? Absolutely wild and wacky. Almost forgot. Okay, had to double check something. But something I noticed is there's a small pattern with people's responses to this, and I'm not gonna say anything too egregious, alright, but it's interesting that some people took this thread seriously, and I do appreciate that people gave their honest opinion as to how they found the game, why they're here, and why they continue to still be here. I'm glad that people did respond wholeheartedly. The people that have been unreasonable in the past, so to speak, there's a couple of names of people that have very interesting opinions. Those particular people only gave like a 1-line response, just a single line, and it's interesting to me that they would only say 1 line. It's the same people who are unreasonable in just every other thread, and I wonder why that is. It's an interesting fact of human nature that I don't understand, because I think it would have to do with their distrust towards others, as to why they don't want to give out too much information about themselves. I'm obviously not asking to dox people, alright? I just want to know their reason for why they're here. Because people did take this thread seriously, and I do appreciate that. Like, I think Houseman, Chibi Chubai, Pink Lemonade and stuff, they all gave like, a list of reasons as to how they got to the thread in the first place and why they're still here in the thread. And then, you know, as I scroll down, you'll notice that there were a couple people that just say one thing and that's it. And usually it's like a pretty egregious thing, like Zeppelin. Because again, I'm trying to at least be somewhat inclusive here. So like everybody gets a chance to just say whatever they want without, you know, fear of being attacked. Because I know if somebody does lash out, I will actually say like, hey man, please, not here. Come on, that's a bit rude. Because I don't want people to be attacking others in a thread like this. I want people to at least be somewhat open and honest with each other, because at this point, we've been here for 2 months. I think we're friends. Okay, I think that constitutes as being friends. Whether we like each other or not, we're still acquaintances and, you know, have a friendly attitude towards one another. Okay? Like... It's like being neighbors at this point, okay? Anyway, sorry. Do you ever wonder why we're here? Oh, sorry, why we are here. Dude, I tried to phrase it like the fucking red versus blue thing, and then I realized like, oh wait, no, it's why we're here. But trying to type that out, it didn't look right. Anyway. It goes without saying, I'm sure many people who visited this community or regularly post here have seen the same names and the same users commenting from time to time, both from people who've played Dustborn and people that haven't. From what I've read, many users also get labeled with certain buzzwords because they either don't like or don't like the game. I can't even read my own fucking post. But I'm sure we all have our reasons for being here, even those that have stuck around since the game's launch. So it begs the question, why are we all here? As an attempt to try and balance out the negative posts, I thought about making a more inclusive thread where we can discuss what brought us to this forum in the first place. I know we all have our different opinions and might not see eye to eye, but there's only a few of us left in this community now, so I figured it'd be nice to get to know each other a little better. So, how about we each take turns going around the room and explain why we are here today. I'll go first. Back at the start of September, a random YouTube video caught my eye about Concord. Concord wasn't the only topic of the video, however, so was Dustborn. I decided to go looking into the discussion threads for both games to see what people were saying about it. Now, for context, I personally enjoy reading Steam discussions aloud on Twitch. Look, we're here. And find the debates people can have highly entertaining, even sending out friend requests to those I wish to learn more about. Eventually, my curiosity got the better of me, and I actually wanted to play Dustborn for the sake of having context for a few of these discussions. I do have my own issues with the game, but for the most part I think it's okay. Due to time constraints with work and other commitments, I haven't finished Dustborn yet, but I am slowly working towards the end, so I guess I'll be sticking around until then. Also, a lot of the political stuff goes over my head, as I've lived under a rock for quite some time. That said, I've learned a lot of new words from reading the comments here. Speaking of, there are a few users I do miss. Both Screwed and Jimsid were some of the best Season 2 protagonists I could have asked for. Hope they're doing okay. Even if Screwed is retired from his acting career and Jimsid got hired by another studio, Unknown 9. Rest in peace to the both of them. I don't expect anyone to take this thread seriously. In fact, I expect to be clowned on. However, I'm curious as to why others are here. I know we each have our own reasons, and yes, I know there's the occasional bad apple. TLDR, what brought you to the Dustborn discussion thread? Or rather, what keeps you tied to the Dustborn discussion thread? It is worth noting that Jimsid was in the Unknown 9 discussion thread until more games came out, and oh boy, there's something funny he did from this thread, then jumped into a different one, and we're gonna go into that because I thought it was the most fucking retarded shit I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how he sleeps with himself, honestly. I don't know how. But let's slowly work down, shall we? Andrew Blackedge. I don't really use Steam forums, but I saw that people were trolling this one, so I came to defend it. This is what I mean by the one-line sentence. Andrew Blackedge does seem a little unreasonable in certain other threads, so this is interesting. I came to be entertained. Some of the comments are really funny. Calculus? I haven't seen this name before, by the way. This person's new. They must have just jumped into this one. I have not seen that name before. In comparison to OP, I'm new here. I don't know what season we're on, but I am unfamiliar with those two. Poor house, man. So, what's funny is the season I was referencing is obviously this stuff, the Steam discussion shit. Season 1 was basically just all Yu-Gi-Oh! Now Season 2 is like all Dustborn. Interestingly enough, Houseman had a bit of an interaction with Jimsid. Jimsid went to bed before Houseman responded. I say presumably went to bed, alright? I don't know what the fuck Jimsid does, alright? I don't look over at him occasionally. But Houseman is about to get a fucking earful for what he said to Jimsid. I don't think he realizes how, like, trigger happy Jimsid is. That as soon as somebody... And you know what's funny about it, right? So, quick Jimsid break. Here's a thread that's kind of funny. I saved this from the other day because posted 3 hours ago and it's locked. How do you think a thread gets locked within 3 hours, especially for something that isn't, you know, super controversial, right? Well, it's because Jimsid appeared and he started talking. And eventually the thread just became about Jimsid fucking spouting some pretty offensive shit. And then it got locked. So, sorry to this guy for that having to happen to him. But, anyway, back to this. My first introduction to Dustborn was people sharing screenshots and clips about how you can block, cancel, bully, and hoax people. I thought that was a neat idea, and very timely. I have a lot of issues with and concerns about social media and how people are misusing language. And this game seems to deal with that subject. Then I watched some more clips and saw that it doesn't quite deal with the subject in the way that I had hoped. At best, it doesn't directly denounce the protagonist's power, and by extension, the same tactics used by people in real life. At worst, it could be said to even encourage them. The final straw was the interview with the game's director, where he seems to deflect the question about it. I initially came here to denounce the game for its message and morals. If that turned out to be true... and morals, if that turned out to be true. But a few people had a different take, including you, OP. So I wanted to take a look for myself. I'm still working through the game while collecting screenshots for the moments that deal with its message and morality. With enough first-hand experience, perhaps I'll be able to denounce the game's message, or maybe I'll even change my tune. It's interesting. Houseman's like me on crack. Like, I have a few clips from interesting things here and there, but Houseman's like, he's got some detective work going, alright? Houseman's looking at some interesting stuff. Oh, Chubby Chabai changed the profile pic. It was something else the other day, but now it's a little Sonic picture. For me... Oh, what the hell is Dustborn? Mario fan. Interesting. It's a very niche game, so to speak. Very niche. Not a lot of people know about it. Barely anyone has played it. But it exists. That's all I can say about it. For me, I'd never even heard of Dustborn until I saw it getting constantly talked about on YouTube or people referencing it negatively. I had to see it for myself. What all the fuss was about, and why so many people are enraged with every game these days, but in particular, why this one keeps coming up. There is little point engaging in arguments with these people either. That's an interesting take. I didn't respond to any of these, by the way, because I just want to know what people have to say. I wasn't gonna... The worst thing I could do to this is pick out certain bits of dialogue. I was about to talk down to Houseman because Houseman responded to this. I know what Chubby Chabai is referring to here. The actual bad apples, so to speak, that come in and just post some racist shit and then move on. Obviously, those people can't be reasoned with, alright? But it's the same everywhere. Like, take Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, for example. Papa Shek was just talking to me about that Hose guy again. He's someone who's so, like... He's so tunnel-focused that there is no way he could ever open his mind to what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is or how to find fun in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, that guy is beyond the deep end. And the same goes for the people who would just bombard these forums and just, again, spout some slurs and then move on. It's no different from trying to avoid getting into a debate with your elderly and drunk uncle at Thanksgiving, who is insistent on taking everyone ear off about his narrow worldview and politics. it always has to be black or white. It never results in two people coming away with a better understanding of each other's beliefs or point of views these days. So, like that cranky uncle, I try to avoid engaging. That's fair, Chubby Chabai. But, I would recommend taking a look at that religion thread. I know religion is a very touchy subject for a lot of people, but a lot of good came out of that discussion thread, which again, I'll look at this after this one. So far, I find these central characters really amusing. Just the way they argue with one another. The dialogue and performances to me feel far more natural than many other games. Each character feels rounded and interesting. How they all interact and grow in their relationships. I also like that the central character isn't particularly nice to people. She isn't immediately likable, but she has redeeming features in that she is self-aware and wants to do better. Her power is to curse, and you can see her understanding this and wanting to use it in a more positive way, but often can't despite her best intentions. I find that quite realistic. Everyone has flaws. She's trying to do what is right, given the situation, and is often forced to fall back on using these traits to survive. I like the idea that the game lets you explore other options, but often you have to take this path and it feels uncomfortable at times, which is how she's feeling. I think this post happened after the one about Fred, because Chubby Chabai commented on a thread about Fred. I know that rhymed for a little second, but the Fred situation's a bit odd. Thankfully, the dev clarified why that's odd, and it's supposed to be odd. There's a lot of what's funny is a lot of the things I probably had an issue with in the past, the dev seems to have just cleared up by talking to other people, and myself included, and it was their intention. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, that was what the goal of the scene was, which is interesting. Very interesting take, but all right. Then to see people complain about that, lol, like you haven't played the game where you are just shooting people with no real motivation. And now a game where a black girl uses her voice is upsetting you. Sure. A lot of people make the GTA comparison, but I mean, I don't think it's anything like GTA. And so far, you are fighting justice police or some gang members. It's not like you are fighting nice people. The border security scene is an interesting takeaway from that. In some scenes, you have to resolve arguments or situations and gasp. You use powerful words to get your way. Again, almost anyone criticizing this game is doing exactly that, over and over, all across Steam, just because they don't like someone else's identity or beliefs. To me, the game is a bunch of people going to fight the system of an oppressive government regime or escape to a better place where they will be accepted for their powers. Or curses as the game hints. Oh, they call it curses and not just straight box. It's a bit naff. Is naff a word? It's a bit naff that your weapons are your voice, but I also get and appreciate the angle and attempt to do something new with the genre that makes you think and its artistic license. So, yeah, I can suspend my disbelief and enjoy a narrative. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a game. Like, I personally don't know how certain people are taking the game super duper duper seriously when, there's a few things that are just fucking weird, alright? And it's a game, so. The game is very polished. That's a hot take. It's very well presented and has some nice pacing and mechanics. The story beats are really quite decent and feels like they expand on the world while exploring and challenging different themes. Speaking of pacing, I will give a compliment to the whole Psy opening doors aspect, because the subversion of expectations for what Psy is supposed to do to a door gets interesting as time goes on. Zakova, welcome to the stream as well. For example, from the very beginning, it's like, oh, how do I open this door? All right, Psy. How to open this door? All right, Psy. How to open this door? All right, Psy again. Of course, it's always Psy. Psy just opens every door from now on. And then Psy opens another door and it doesn't work. And it's like, oh, okay, that's weird. I guess Ziggy helps out. All right, Ziggy can open some doors, but then Psy opens every other door. And then Seethe gets fucking shot. Did not expect that happening. All because Seethe was opening doors. The only on-the-nose thing I see is that they're escaping a America that has turned into this regime where they are no longer safe and where they're being worked to the bone for scraps. And they want to go somewhere so they can be free. It's crazy, Blue Monarch. It's crazy. I fully expect the next time I play Dustborn, Seethe will refuse to open any more doors. Seethe's out of the door business. She won't do it anymore. I'll finish the game gradually, or not. I don't know how you can be so enthusiastic about the game and just be like, I'm not gonna finish it. Fuck it. Maybe I'll get distracted by other games, but I've enjoyed things so far. It's quite fun to play a chapter every evening instead of reading a book. Oh, Emancipated. I've been playing it for a while. I'm up to chapter 6. I haven't finished it, but like, I'm chipping away at it, alright? I want to try and smash it out before November 7th. Like, preferably, because similar to Chippy Chapai here, I'm gonna fucking drop it as soon as November 7th happens. Because there's another game I need to play on that day. That'll take priority over Dustborn until I beat that next game. Anyway, this idea that art can't explore themes because of a vocal crowd disagree with them is outrageous. They complain about censorship, and yet they are aggressive trying to censor. That is very interesting to me. Feels like we've been here before in history several times. Interesting to live through it. Damn. Chubby Chabai is like onto something here. Oh my goodness. Now, Houseman, I personally don't want to call anyone out in my particular thread because I'd feel like it'd be going against my own thread rules, but I'm not going to stop other people from talking about it, okay? Because Houseman does bring this up. At the risk of conflicting with OP's inclusive vision for this thread, engaging a lot of the people either, the extremes of both sides seem to be saying the same about each other. There's no sense reasoning with those people. I think this the move that caused both sides to lose. In the sense that outcomes are worse for both of them, because they refuse to communicate, to find common ground, or to understand the other side's point of view. I would like to volunteer as a sort of representative for those people, and I'd be willing to discuss, or even debate things with you in a civil manner. In fact, I think you'll find multiple people here who will be willing to do just this. It's true. There are a fair few people. People in this thread who are giving like long-winded responses like this for why they're here are what I would consider reasonable people that you can have a conversation with. Again, looking at you, Blackage, and soon to be others. Brody Dustin said, developers, of course. They literally said that they want their game to spark conversation about certain issues. And when I came here, I was asked why I won't buy the game. I said the game story is garbage. So developers, who I remind you, wanted conversation, banned me for a month. So go figure. Oh yeah, Monarch, he's... We're gonna get to that, alright. He did something pretty fucked up. Just below this. I would like to add that I'm a huge favor of Ragnar Tornquist's previous works, especially The Secret World, later rebranded as Secret World Legends. I also liked The Longest Journey, and its Dreamfall sequels, Dreamfall chapters. Sadly, focused too much on politics and pushing woke ideology, but it was still miles ahead of Dustborn in terms of the story. Damn, Loot Hunter. It's just me, welcome to the stream as well. This isn't, I think Loot Hunter is probably one of the few people who've actually mentioned that they're like, they've played the other Ragnar Tornquist games in the past. I think My Zeppelin has, but I mean, we're gonna get down to My Zeppelin's response, alright. Anyway, what keeps the Dustborn thread? Well, since I'm unbanned, at least for now, I want to ask certain questions and call out certain BS. There's at least one thread now that has a chance of developers actually answering about their inner workings in making this game. He's referring to the religion thread, by the way. The religion thread has actually garnered a lot of like movement in terms of like talking to the devs, and I really appreciate how the devs have handled the situation. I was extremely worried when Jimsid said something in the religion thread, because holy shit, that could have sparked a lot of engagement, so to speak. Anyway, now for Jimsid's one-lined response. Again, I'm telling you, man, the people that only give one-line responses are very unreasonable, okay? It's just a thought. It's just a thought.
For me, it's pretty clear. Defending the game and helping to clean up the forum space from the far-right agenda-driven anti-diversity brigade.
Again, Jimsid, where is the brigade in this like, I feel like Jimsid can't fucking read. Like, other people have made their responses clear as to how they came here in the first place. Like, am I part of the brigade, Jimsid? Is Houseman part of the brigade? Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Zakova, tonight is a new night, and I'm wondering if tonight's a full moon, where the werebeast Jimsid is going to unveil himself again. Like, he seems to partake in Steam discussions at a very peculiar time each night, because he was only active for about 2 to 3 hours and then just passed out, I guess, because he didn't say anything after what he said in the fucking after what he said in the Dustborn discussions. So now, here's the interesting part. Shintaro didn't actually respond to the main topic at hand. Shintaro just responded to Jimsid, and I think I know why. Shintaro might be following Jimsid from a previous engagement. Shintaro might have come from, not Unknown 9, there was something else that Jimsid talked some shit into. So, oh yeah, it was, no, it was Unknown 9. It was like this area where I'm assuming Shinto came from. Because I don't think Shinto has anything to do with Dustborn. I've never seen his name before. Can he call it as anime content? Fucking hell. He's starving for a ban. Oh, dude, he wants it. He wants it on at least one of his accounts. He needs it. Anyway, Shintaro, you should have a look at Project Ethos and Dragon Age Veilguard. So, hold on, before I scroll down too far. Okay. So here's the interesting part, right? Check it out, Project Ethos and Dragon Age Veilguard.
Veilguard is on my list to check out before release, of course. That forum will need some cleaning as well, but given it is an established franchise with a larger player base, I think we'll be able to drown out the bigotry.
I mean, good luck with that, Jimsid. Now, Jimsid, my brother in Christ, did some pretty funny stuff. So, yeah, he's keeping it clear from bigotry. Veilguard's on my list to check out the... Okay, so what do you think he did here? After hearing about Project Ethos and Dragon Age Veilguard, what do you think he did? What do you think he did right after posting this? Just take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Don't worry, I'll show you.
Reported for bigotry and discrimination and harassment.
Yeah, you really had to go there? You really had to go to Project Ethos? You needed to? Was it that important?
Also visited the Project Ethos page and started doing some cleaning and reporting there as well.
I was so close to commenting on this. I was so fucking close. Because that is some pretty fucking scummy shit to do, Jimsid. Some pretty fucking scummy shit to do. But alright. I'm not a fan of Veilguard, but I agree with you. I'm more looking into the Project Ethos because it is similar with Fortnite, but a mechanic using skill cards that I never saw outside of Hearthstone. I love TCG like Pokemon TCG. So, do keep in mind, Jimsid was just at the Project Ethos page. What do you think he did there? He obviously reported some people for harassment or whatever the fuck, right? For bigotry and all that kind of bullshit. The thing I wanted to call out with Jimsid is He has said previously that he does not go to other boards that he has no interest in playing the game for. Like he'd only go to boards of a game that he would want to play. Now, he's already contradicted himself twice here by going to Metaphor and saying, "Is this game woke?" And then obviously getting clowned on a fair bit. He then went to Project Ethos just to fucking clean up some scum, right? And why would you go to Project Ethos, Jimsid?
Not a game on my radar, as I'm not into the Fortnite kind of games, but I will have to try it out. Now, I'm intrigued by its roguelike elements as well.
He's not gonna like it, and he's gonna fucking hate it, because it is exactly Fortnite. Project Ethos is a hell of a lot more like Fortnite than you would expect. It's not out yet, by the way. Hang on, where was it? Let me give you a brief rundown on what it looks like. Like, dude, definitely not into Fortnite, by the way. I'm not into Fortnite, but I will call people out for bigotry and harassment and racism and shit. Because, you know, why not? Not into Fortnite, by the way. Not into Fortnite. It's very interesting, alright? I have no interest in checking it out because, I mean, I'm not really into battle royales, but it's something, I guess. C&DK, welcome to the stream as well. Currently, checking out some Jimsid and developer content. I say developer content. There is a sneak peek at something that's coming up. Well, I don't have a sneak peek, but all I have is a message that say that they're bringing something out soon, allegedly, very soon. Anyway, I'm also not a fan of Fortnite-alike games, but I'll give it a shot because of the mechanics. Now, again, how I said earlier, people who give one-line responses are very interesting. So, here's my Zeppelin's one-line response to the entire, like, essay.
I came here to see how the racists defend their anti-white claims.
Now, again, I decided not to comment on this one because I'm trying to be fair and give everybody a chance to say something, all right? If this is what Zeppelin believes, if this is truly what he believes and why he's here, all I can do is believe it, all right? Just take him at his word. Because that is certainly something, Zeppelin. That is certainly something. Zakova commented though, "My Zeppelin, I did expect more mature behavior from you." I mean, it is fair. Zeppelin, bit of a childish response, especially considering everybody else has been somewhat heartfelt. Even Pink Lemonade gave this out, which is neat. "What brought me here was the following. Seeing Dustborn initially via marketing of the actual game. The game piquing my interest. Stuff starts to come out about it that changed my perception before release. Forgot about it for a while. Saw some recommended games to me on Steam. Realized they were from the same developer. Game releases. People said it was one of those so bad that it's good types of games. That piqued my interest. Then I bought the game, because why not? Plus, I was interested in the game before. Then I played the game. Then I was the only person at one point playing this game since I was curious what the Steam discussions were talking about. Then I completed the game, reviewed the game, then came back. The rest is history." I'm disappointed in you. Zeppelin probably thinks I'm one of those fucking, like, racist, anti-inclusive chuds, alright? He probably does think that. I also do like that Red Thread even commented on this too, which is quite nice. This is actually super interesting to us, since it's an insight to discoverability, how players learn about games, and what drives them to buy and play, so thank you for sharing. And if anyone else is willing to share their path to Dustborn with us, we'd be extremely grateful. Oh yeah, Pink Lemonade is pretty good to go over. Again, Pink Lemonade, very reasonable. Unlike, you know, unlike some people, just saying. Sorry, Andrew Blackage came back and decided to respond to the developer. I don't know why. He had his chance, I guess. Being a fan
since playing The Longest Journey in Dreamfall in 2010.
Has been the genre. Same. CNTK. My response was like up here. It mainly was just the drama for the sake of like the Steam discussion and stuff. Like that's why I wanted to read all this stuff, and then eventually it turned into playing the game. So it's whatever. Anyway, how about a quick Jimsid break before we get into the religion stuff? So here's the thread that, again, this is, if I refresh this now, the time would be different. I just want to point out that it was posted and within 3 hours got locked because of Jimsid. All right, because of fucking Jimsid. A sincere question to the LGBTQI+ community. Did you like Unknown 9 Awakening? Did the studio that developed it deliver something that entertained you? Do you feel represented? Was the result you expected and wanted for future games? Was there anything that left something to be desired? Was there anything that was delivered with flying colors? Please leave your opinion. Now, there are some decent responses, like this is genuine, okay? It's very interesting. But then Jimsid decided to pop his little head in.
The game does not have explicit LGBTQ representation, but as a gay person, I do feel relating to the status of being a quaestor, aka an outsider in society, and treated differently. Haruna has her hometown plunged and burned by a cult out of greed and treated as lesser than people because of their living conditions, skin color, etc. And that is relatable for LGBTQ people as well.
That's a weird lump to put fucking all LGBTQ people into that, but alright.
It is a story of pain and vengeance while trying to find one's place in society. A story many self-aware and proud LGBT people find themselves relating to. Of course, we don't talk about the self-hating so-called gay people Ted above refers to. So yeah, an LGBTQ person, I relate deeply to the game. Oh, sorry. So yeah, and wait, what? Oh, does it mean as? He forgot as. So yeah, as an LGBTQ person, I relate deeply to the game. And it has met my expectations story-wise.
What is Quasar? I'm assuming this, whatever the fuck is said here, is basically an outcast. So there was a post somewhere between these two. Ted is obviously not up here. There is no Ted. And I'm assuming Ted's comment got deleted because of whatever was in it, all right? Now, I don't know what Ted's comment was, and I don't think we'll ever know, okay? But Jimsid also said something else as well, and I don't know what it was in reference to. I have no clue, but the next comment is absolutely fucking unhinged.
So, you know, only log cabin self-hating Republicans, aka so-called closet gays? Good to know. Sorry, the majority of us are not like that, and we will never be ashamed of who we are or stop remembering our history or fighting for our rights, which should not be taken for granted. And I'm glad the majority of us are not like that, and we don't hate ourselves.
Nobody is ashamed of anything. They just don't have such a shallow and vapidly superficial view of the world, where their sexual preference is what defines them, and needs to constantly be rubbed in the face of everyone else they meet. Jimsid does this a lot. He considers himself a diverse person. Like that you need to respect that, alright? He's a diverse person, and he will be addressed as such, as a diverse people, okay? So fucking stupid. You are confusing being proud with being a narcissist who just cannot grasp that nobody really cares how you identify or who you sleep with. Most people are far too concerned with their own problems and what they see in the mirror to even care about who someone else sleeps with. Get over yourself. You are the center of the universe, and obnoxiously rubbing LGBLT 123% nonsense in people's faces doesn't create tolerance. It makes people actively despise and resent you. You can get angry with this fact, but it won't change that it is a fact. It's a new way to say it. Jimsid banned again. He's currently banned in the Unknown 9 thread. His third account is banned. Oh yeah, Lost Friend. I don't know if you saw it last time. Jimsid does have 3 accounts. His main account, the account with the question mark profile pic, and then this account is his third account. He's got 3 fucking accounts. Yes. This shit's too funny. Oh, I agree. CNTK. That's why I like reading this stuff, because holy fucking shit. I thought Master Duel was like some insane shit, all right? Just the stuff people are saying in the Master Duel discussions. Oh, no. No, this shit is even crazier. Anyway. Sugary Saberjing. Oh my goodness, Jay. Welcome to the stream.
Nope, these are all buzzwords, for I am ashamed for who I am, and try to win the acceptance of bigots by showing how ashamed I am. They have forgotten everything we have done as a community to win our rights, and the fight that is needed to preserve them against people like you. Thankfully, as I said, the majority of us are not like that, and we will fight for our rights and visibility as a community. Your far-right cult being here proves that you care very much about our representation in media. And you need to fight it. And we need to fight against you and your extremism. Our target with being visible in society, same as you are, is not about making your dying cult tolerate us. It is about educating specifically the younger generations on the importance of being yourself and being proud of who you are without shame and without the need to hide who you are.
Did you say who you are like twice? Importance of being yourself and being proud of who you are without shame and without the need to hide who you are. Okay.
This is a fact, and no matter how many far-right self-loathing rants you make will change that.
No matter how many... Oh, yeah, no matter...
Same way I could say you should stop rubbing your heterosexuality in the faces of people in every other form of media. But we know that's not gonna happen.
What are you watching that's like showing like fucking, I don't know, straight sex constantly on screen? Like, what are you watching? Where are you getting that? It's interesting. Fighting with Jimmy. Taking Jimmy out. Taking him down a peg. Hell Plus. You know, I never really thought of it like that. But I can actually... Sorry, but I can totally see where you're coming from. It's a really interesting way to look at it. Smile. I don't know if this is sincere. The smile at the end is very concerning. Ted? There he is. This is Ted. Bruh. I just can't. Lamau. You're not real, bro. I refuse to believe this isn't a troll to bait me into wasting my time on absurdities.
I am! Sorry you live in an echo chamber of the far right and can't accept the fact that the majority out there disagrees with you and supports LGBTQ rights and diversity in general.
Where's the plus, my guy? Where's the fucking IA plus, bro? You intentionally dropping some from the anagram, my guy? What are you doing? Oh, alright, yeah, responding to hell.
It is indeed. Happy to meet a fellow Unknown Night gamer and fan here. Smile. This place needs to be reclaimed by us and not left at the mercy of its detractors. Not to use any more passionate term.
No, use a passionate term, please. You've used a few passionate terms already. Please give us another one. Fucking hell, Jay. Premium Hub. He's like, I'm so upset with all the straight porn filling my feed. I just have to watch it. Oh no. I have no choice. Which is just like see, okay, you can like fucking, you can read into that a little bit further. Like does him leaving out certain letters from the abbreviation mean that he doesn't like those particular groups of people and doesn't include them into the full abbreviation and isn't that inclusive against them? That's a bit weird, Jimsid. That's a bit weird. Are you racist? Oh, sorry. Lamau, Okay, sure, Jan. Fucking, I haven't heard the word Jan in a few years. You seem to again misinterpret reality as what you see is not support but extreme indifference in an increasingly apathetic world. People don't care about you or your personal preferences. They only care about themselves and want to be left alone for the most part. But you lot don't seem to have understood this. Instead, you choose to continually pontificate and hammer your personal worldview on people with the threat of persecution should everyone else not act as if they care, and show fealty by taking a knee because you insist on constantly telling us who you like to sleep with. I'm going to let you figure this out the hard way, since that is what you're going to do anyway. Good luck with that one, bro. Again, there's no help in getting... The fact that he had a talk with Mad Scientist that totally broke down his entire character and he still didn't get it afterwards, I don't think there's any saving this guy. Alright, like, I think Jimsid is just broken. Fucking hell, Zakova. CHUD plus? Oh, we need that. Lost Train. We need that. Gonna have to start that one up. Oh my god.
Living in an echo chamber doesn't bode well for you and your relation to reality. Trust me.
Trust me, bro. I know from experience.
Sexual orientation is not a personal preference. First of all, it's an innate genetic characteristic. Same as gender identity. Being cis or trans is also innate. By left alone, your cult means erase LGBTQ people from media, representation, and eventually reality.
How? If it's genetic, how?
We have learned your dictionary by now, and sorry, we don't do you that favor. Out proud and present, and that won't change.
What is this? Out proud and present? What? I haven't heard this term before. Out proud and present. Okay, interesting. Hey, Lost Drone, I think you're onto something. All right. Loud and proud. What is the out? What are they out of? Out what? I don't get that one.
The only ones hammering people with your bigotry and fear of persecution is your cult, actually. We see how trans people are persecuted in red states in the America. We're not blind. You won't settle with self-loathing LGBTQ people either. This is just your current facade. Even if we became silent, you would then advocate again for our complete erasure from society.
Ooh, who is asking for this? Where is this coming from?
You won't get that either, my dear bigot. I will let reality do the rest for you. With over 20% of Gen Z identifying as sexually and gender diverse, reality will kick in pretty soon for all of you. Good luck. You'll need it.
Oh my god. Jimsid doesn't have to do anything, in fact. The world is just changing. Oh my goodness. It's called love. Blue Monarch. Oh my god. Zakova, I don't get where he gets this worldview from. Actually, no. It goes without saying, after looking into Jimsid's sources for another claim, I wouldn't be surprised if Jimsid spends a lot of time hearing or listening to certain propaganda videos from very biased people about, you know, certain identity crises around the world, and then turns that without doing any research or any further development on it, he takes that biased information and then regurgitates it to people on Steam. That is, I full-heartedly believe that based on what he said about Wukong, because the 3% that he keeps bringing up, that he keeps regurgitating over and over again, is a factually incorrect number that was just made before basically the second the game got released, which is not a fair and accurate representation of the amount of players who have played it and owned it on Steam. But he keeps siding with that, even though apparently most of the internet seem to disagree with that statement. the whole like, oh, only 3% of people outside China are playing the game, only 3% this, and like people are from what I've seen anyway, people are like, well, why does it matter? Why does it matter if the number is incorrect? You know, what difference does it make? And it narratively makes differences for people like Jimsid, where even if it's 3%, 3% is still a lot of people, okay? But the fact is, it's not 3%. It's more than 3%. And any number higher than that is already significantly more. Because, I think, what was it? If at the bare minimum you say it's 10%, that's huge. That is a huge number of Western players. Like, just in general, you know, compared to other things on the market in modern day. But lowballing it at 3% based on the first ever article published by a very not I want to say biased media outlet, without doing any other background checks or reading any other articles in relation to it, just taking that one side of information and just regurgitating it everywhere is wrong. It's very wrong. Yeah, Lost Rune. If I yeah, Blue Monarch, you're right. That's what it was. And it's like really difficult to use that as like an accurate gauge, because the game wasn't out for everyone at that time. Like, so ridiculous. Pointing and laughing. Jimsid, I feel like Jimsid can't be reasoned with. I'm gonna try whenever I get the chance to. I'm gonna try and do my best, but I don't think it's gonna work. I know it is significantly higher, which is a lot of people. Like, it's a lot. That is true, Lost. Even at the lowest possible, like, even saying it's 3% is still a lot of people. It's still a lot of people with allegedly no advertising. Allegedly, okay. But Jimsid doesn't agree. Doesn't care. He hates the sexist monkey game. This is objectively insane nonsense. I genuinely do fear for the future of, for the future state of Western society if you are a representation of the state of mental health in young people. Though I feel you are a particularly extreme example of delusional narcissism more than anything else. Thank God. Oh, I'm glad Ted knows. Ted understands. Again, nobody cares who you sleep with. Nobody cares if you want to chop bits of your body off, so long as you're a grown adult. Their taxes don't have to fund their choices. Don't have to fund your choices, and you do not attempt to influence their children. You seem to suffer from severe narcissism. Wow, I can't believe he figured this out in like 5 posts. It took me like a week. As yet again, you seem to think anyone cares about your innate personal preference, and that they will not resent constantly being browbeaten by you for not treating you as the uniquely special snowflake you think you are. I hate to tell you this, but you're not the only gay in the village. Bizarre, bro. It really is. Fuck it out. The full of Western civilization. Well, you're lucky, Seethe. This wasn't technically in Unknown 9. I mean, it's the same kind of people, though, to be fair. Like, this stuff was basically happening on Dustborn, like, a month ago. Not anymore, funnily enough. The Dustborn is now a very tame and very nice environment, you know, contrary to popular belief. This is happening in Unknown 9 currently, right now. Well, I say right now, this was yesterday, but even still today, it's just as much of a war zone as it was. Any other cells? It's still a lot, Zakoba. It's still a lot. Brenton. Jimsid coming back again for another take.
Causing fear in you is a success for our society, as your ilk indeed fears diversity and change to the better. That's why I always say conservatism has characteristics akin to mental illness. You care a lot about people's sexual orientation, which is why you are here.
I mean, like, you've been preaching about the fact that you're gay to everybody you meet, so I don't know, man.
To celebrate our erasure from gaming and media in general.
Again, I don't know where he's saying that.
Your presence here is pure evidence. You care a lot. Your ideology cares a lot, in general, about who people sleep with and what they do with their bodies. It's all you think about every single day, which is why we have this legislative assault from conservatives against LGBTQ rights.
This is a lot of words he's putting into his mouth.
And, sorry, trans youth also has rights, and we will be defending them and their age-appropriate gender-affirming care, which is vital for them and their well-being. This mantra against trans youth has to stop. You seem to suffer from severe bigotry.
Yo, shit, you ever get diagnosed with bigotry? Fuck. I gotta go to the doctor and get that checked out.
Especially homophobia and transphobia. Oh my goodness. KBJ, this is not the time to raid. KBJ, we're talking about transphobia. KBJ, please. Not now.
Also, welcome to the stream, everybody. KBJ, thank you for the raid. And let me give you a little shout out. My goodness. So, for context, welcome everybody. Welcome Hyper Whale, Prince TV. If you're wondering what's going on, Jimsid has said some very interesting things. Hentai as well. Welcome to the stream. And just currently going over that before getting into the Dustborn, like what the devs have said as of like the last 2 days, because it is interesting shit. There's new stuff coming to Dustborn. I would like to say I'm super excited, but considering how slow I'm taking getting through the game, I'll most likely see the content update when it happens. So it's gonna happen soon, all right? It's gonna happen soon. Concord like or something. Fucking Concord likes. They're basically on par with Golem likes, honestly. Yes, Princey TV. I'm a huge fan of Summonite, the Swordcraft story. Hence Sugar on the bottom left. Thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate that. Sugar does indeed say things. Obviously Sugar has no voice, so she's just using Microsoft Ivy or whatever the fuck the TTS is called for that. But yes, Sugar does say things. Approved by. That's got balls of steel, Zakova. Sorry.
Which are mental illnesses. Sorry about that.
Dude, bigotry is a mental illness. My goodness. I've been diagnosed.
Well, Intrahen_Ty77.
Sugar, you don't know what it is. Come on now.
Glass of wine. The lore. Dustborn. A dystopian world where information is power and truth is perspective.
Wait, how does she know?
Conflicts and paranoia, filled with rebels with powers, whispering about the signal. Oh, the lurid stories I could tell. But
because she's talking about the book.
What did you say?
The book. I forgot. There's a fucking Dustborn book. Jesus Christ. That's what she's referencing. I forgot that if you search Dustborn, the game might not be the first thing that comes up as a result. There is a book as well that exists, also called Dustborn, and I think that's what she's referring to. It's just a coincidence that some of the things in Dustborn could be attributed to the book. So robots are taking over.
They are. I see you're asking about Jimsid. Let's just say for now that the term doesn't exactly stir fond memories in me.
Sugar, how do you know what Jimsid did? How do you know? Anyway. Read the manga. There was talk from the devs that they might, depending on the artist, they might release a comic book or art book with the for the game. That might happen. It's based on the artists. I don't think it's gonna happen because of the obvious reason that shit would cost a lot of money, and there's like 5 people that like Dustborn. So.
Dustborn, from what I can pull from my fragmented cognition, is a tantalizing adventure in a dystopian universe.
It's always a dystopian universe.
It's as ravishing as a freshly sharpened sword, but I can't tell you much more.
Alright. Sugar's keeping secrets.
Sorry about that. You seem to think that LGBTQ people are fighting for the rights you already have and their right to be visible and represented in media, as you already are massively, is some kind of beating you with anything. I'm sorry equality is so tough for you to digest. Truly, I am. But we're not backing down an inch. You have started a war against us that you are losing in real society big time. And it's time we hit your ideology with the final blow and put it to rest, really. You've done enough harm.
Poor Ted. Poor Ted's getting hit with this, man. Bro, I think it's very clear who the unhinged and mentally unstable one... and the mentally unstable one here. It is hard to believe this is even serious, but I'm not wasting more time engaging in this lunacy.
Yeah! You! The person who admitted they came on this forum to attack this game and harass the player base and developers. It's hard to believe, indeed, that mentally unstable people like that exist out there.
Question: Did you see the new Yu-Gi-Oh waifu? I think I might marry her.
What's the new Yu-Gi-Oh waifu, KPJ? Is it from Supreme Darkness? What's the new Yu-Gi-Oh waifu? Don't tell me it's like they made a Ray too. Oh my goodness. It really was a mistake. Dude, imagine CNTK if that was the post-apocalyptic future we ended up getting. If Kennedy if Kennedy lived. Fuck. The new white woman fiend link? Oh, wait. What do you mean new? Isn't that link 5 already a thing? What other white woman? They made another one? How many white women do they want in their fucking game? Sorry, this next part is absolutely absurd.
It's hard to believe, indeed, that mentally unstable people like that exist out there. Run away! You lack the intelligence.
Sorry.
Asking me to explain Dustborn in Yu-Gi-Oh terms.
Sugar, how the fuck are you gonna explain this?
Imagine you've got a fusion card placed right on the field mixed with a handful of trap cards.
Sugar!
The combination of post-apocalyptic landscapes, rebellious outcasts, and storytelling antics. It's all a bit like a strategic duel, isn't it? You've got to summon the right responses at the right time.
That's not how that works.
Like summoning monsters onto
What kind
the
of...
field
Are you playing
to win over
Labyrinth,
the
Sugar?
challenges.
What fusion card is in Labyrinth? Can help KPJ. Oh my god.
Run away! You lack the intellectual capacity to counter the facts I present as I have experienced them as an LGBTQ person. Run away!
And then rejected commented on this. I thought it was really funny. You got banned mere minutes after telling people to run away. That's hilarious. And then this thread has recently turned into nothing more but insults from players and is no longer constructive, and it has been locked. So Jimsid, the bringer of death and destruction, just took down this poor guy's thread within 2 hours of it being live. Like, what the fuck? She's real. Destroy the facts and logic. Go! Run away with your tail between your legs. Hide with your ilk.
Blue_monarch.
Fucking
You're
hell, dude.
definitely asking for a lot. But terms of Dustborn, Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be a perilous journey, where each card summoned would embody not just a creature,
Oh yeah,
but a story filled
finish
with
this one.
struggles in
So
voice.
the religion
The
thing,
matches,
right?
A series of story-driven conflicts with unpredictable
Is an insufferable twat.
outcomes.
Oh, I don't like
Damn,
Jimsid.
ain't that something?
Period. Like, I think he's absolutely fucked up in the head a little bit. Like, with what he's been saying to people, and like his... So for reference, by the way, his opinion on diversity and inclusivity specifically, and I mean specifically, is the representation of strong women in video games. That's about it. If it doesn't have that, it's not diverse and inclusive. Fucking insane. The gym is real. Absolutely. So if you're wondering why I'm skipping over this, we read up until I think post 30 or something, whenever the devs responded to me. That's when I stopped reading. And then of course, like 30 more posts happened. So it got a little crazy. Also, Zeppelin said something else later and I responded to him, but I don't think he's responded to me yet. So I can't wait to see what Zeppelin has to say to that. Yeah, here it was. Yeah, I'm doing this. Okay, and then Houseman started talking after that. So this was a bit later, after the stream the other day. So he's a Coomer. He's not a Coomer because he doesn't like anime rape fantasies. He's specifically said that. Those were his words, not mine. He actually said that to somebody else. He doesn't like that stuff, apparently. Yes, Prince TV. It was, I think it was 2 streams ago now. 2 streams ago, as in, like, whenever I was talking about Jimsid last time. I can't go back and find it because that thread got nuked, but the archive that I have is real, okay? It really happened. He really said that. They also specified jerking off to them as well. Do keep that in mind. He was talking about Coomers, alright? Just so you know. His videos. Specifically, as a gay man, he wants strong female protagonists. And only plays games with strong female protagonists. Like, fucking hell.
Oh, Never-End Leaf. Your question tickles my fancy. Dustborn, is it? Quite a thrilling tale.
You're gonna end up confusing sugar at this rate. Just not gonna know what dusk from dust is.
Radiance is but a fleeting memory. But do
Sorry,
remember,
anyway.
darling,
Houseman.
every tale
So,
is as complex as
I
the
basically
beholder
backed
makes it.
down after they answered my stuff about Psy and the whole pork situation and, like, the Muslim stuff. Red Thread had answered that, so I decided to just move on. I don't really care that much. I'm not a Christian, so I can't really talk much about the Christian side, but Houseman and Zakova are, so that's where this came in. So, first of all, thank you for replying and having this conversation. It seems like there are 2 different points. A reflection on how religion is presented and used commercially, how odd these verses can come across with their disconnected... Sorry, I'm assuming it's when they're disconnected from the original context. In number 1 is fine. Jesus himself even objected to religion being used commercially in the Bible. But, by overturning the money changes in the temple. It's a common point and observation. The problem is that 2 seems to have nothing to do at all with the first. And that's why it comes across as mean-spirited. It would have been related if it were using, or misusing, Bible verses as advertisements for a store or product. But it's barely even related to the statue of Jesus at all. It's just weird Bible verses for the sake of, haha, look at how weird the Bible can be. And there doesn't seem to be any sort of in-universe reason why it was programmed with those verses in the first place. I know the devs are going to answer the reason why they did it in a little bit, but for a lot of my, like, you know, problems with the game as well, there's not a lot of world building that build up these decisions. They put a lot of thought into why they did the things that they did, but forgot to set it up previously. And that's where a lot of the confusion comes in, because then you get hit with, like, this weird information, and it's like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why is the statue of Jesus spitting out some very weird and strange verses? It doesn't make any sense. They explain why, but anyway. How do you imagine that conversation went when they were choosing what verses to program into that button? It doesn't seem like any rational person, however weird they may be, putting such a statue in the mall in the first place, would ever choose those verses. Like Samurai said, ooh, look, he's pointing me out, guys. There are plenty of other verses that could go there, and you could even be making a point about the radicalization and fanaticism of the country by doing so. It could contribute to the world building. Basically, what I said earlier is I just speculated that the reason why Red Thread would have put weird verses in there is specifically to, you know, promote the fact that Christianity became a lot more radicalized as time went on throughout. Like, but again, that kind of stuff isn't talked about or built up in the game. Like, it's not like you see Jesus everywhere. All right. So anyway. KBJ, what is this? Are you linking porn again? This better be. Oh my goodness, who's this white woman? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's coming out in Supreme Darkness.
KBJ, listen here, you restless creature. Masters said it's high time you stop your relentless gooning and take the sack. Can't have you becoming a nuisance in the stream. Now can we?
What did she say?
Nighty night, love.
What did she just say? Okay. Oh, interesting. You know what's funny about that, KBJ, is there's an equally good chance I could get that in the Supreme Darkness box I'm getting. I could get that. Can't use it, but I can get it. Pretty neat. Oh yeah, Blue Monarch. I think you probably haven't played or seen Summon Night or Swordcraft story, but that's how Sugar acts throughout the entire game. There's no fish at the moment because fucking I'm currently streaming in the Dustborn category on Steam. All right, I figured I might as well sell out and promote the game as much as possible, right? Oh my god. I just said it's high time you stop your relentless gooning. Fucking hell. And KBJ, quit gooning, alright. At least I get to have the card before you. You could have even just had some dialogue with Lottie where she admits to tampering with the device and making it say weird verses just for the fun of it. I would believe this, actually. I didn't even think of this, but yeah. Lottie has been in that mall for quite some time. She could have just programmed it to do dumb things for the sake of it, just to have entertainment. That would have been more believable. Sorry, a more believable explanation than, oh yeah, they just programmed it that way from the beginning. But as it stands, it doesn't contribute to anything. There is no reason for those verses to be there other than the developer wanted to say, look, these verses are weird. Haha. That's why this seems mean-spirited. And again, interesting what they say here, Red Thread. You know, that's a fair criticism. It was not something anyone on the team reacted to. They know it wasn't meant to be mean-spirited, but we can see how it can come across that way to players. We'll look into changing these to more appropriate, those still odd Bible verses. The existence of the statue in this setting is meant to be a statement. If we can make that statement more interesting and coherent, while also making sure it doesn't come across as mocking anyone, it's a win for everyone. Thanks for the constructive criticism. And they edited it later. We're removing the interaction with this button in the next patch, and won't bring it back until we've done more research and found some appropriate verses to quote and record. So big shout out to Houseman for actually getting the game to change somewhat. Like, this is interesting. I would have never expected this to happen in a billion years, but Houseman got it to happen. Dustborn sponsor went, maybe hentai, maybe. I'm the only person streaming this fucking game, so maybe. I mean, granted, I'm not streaming it right now, but I intend to, okay? The next stream I do, I want to play a little bit more and hopefully finish it, which might be tomorrow, okay? Surprisingly nice. Yeah, CNDK, isn't that weird? Because, about 2 weeks ago or so, out of nowhere, the developers just showed up and were just locking threads, like day after day. They were just mass locking threads. Now, to be fair, all right, the threads they were locking were quite unrelated to Dustborn, okay? It was a lot of grave dancing threads, so to speak. So, fair, all right. But that made them come across as though they weren't happy at all about the game. Like, about people still being here, right? So this thread, for example, I fully expected, and I'm sure Sokopa probably expected, like, it was going to get locked. It was going to get nuked. Like, there was no way the devs were ever going to respond to anything like this. But it's nice that they did. It's nice that they listened. And that's pretty interesting. Bring back bullying and beatings. Slightly less bad faith. Well, it's interesting. This isn't the first thing that they admitted to in this thread. There's another thing later on that they're gonna do. Well, I say do, but like something else is happening later on in the near future. So can we just see that? What's Dustborn about? That is interesting, J Marcus, because depending on who you ask, you will get a completely different answer. In my personal experience with the Dustborn, it's just a game about a bunch of characters that have voice related powers, basically superpowers in a sense, all related to with their voice. They're considered outcasts, mutants, hunted by the government or whatever. I mean, there's probably more to that. I'm really summarizing it hard. And basically they want to get to a place where they can feel accepted. That's all. Obviously ignoring the elephant in the room about the whole normalizing bullying, like triggering, all of that shit. So ignoring that stuff. That's basically what the game is about. Princey, so that's, I don't know if they mentioned it in this thread, but that's something they did talk about. So it like, and I mentioned this at the start of the stream, if anything weird or anything like anything that feels strange or odd about Dustborn was apparently intended, which is like crazy to me. It's like I think it was either me or somebody else like asked them like, hey, isn't this weird? And they're like, yeah, it's supposed to be. It's like, well, isn't that strange though? Why is it weird? Why did you intentionally make it weird? Should it not have been weird? Because obviously it comes across as very mixed to some people. I don't think the game is like bad, so to speak. Again, like I think it's okay. It's a game. All right. I don't hate it. There are worse games out there. Again, like, you know, Sticker Star, for example. All right. Also, the fucking myriad of slop games like Golem and shit. My goodness. Is it a video game? You know what? I can't say it's a visual novel because it's got like more going on. I mean, the combat might as well just be like, you know, it might as well play itself, honestly. But it's a story. All right, it's a book, Luster. It's a book. I'll give you that. Scarlet and Violet. Kenny was the worst person in history. Kenny did a lot of stuff. He did a lot of stuff. So the thing that's magical power. It's funny you say that, Jay. That's literally what happened on the last stream. Somebody sung a poetry and they brought a character back to life. So yes. Yes. But my goodness. Oh, and also there's the whole gaslighting aspect. I haven't brought it up to the devs yet, but the whole gaslighting thing is still very weird. Something I do want to ask them if I get the chance to, I don't know when I'll be prompted to say it, but the whole gnome gaslighting thing comes across as really weird because I don't know if they ever like, I don't know if the effects of gaslighting ever wear off, so it's just really weird. It's just really weird.
Well, Ty77, I'm sure Master would just be thrilled by the idea of a Dustborn subathon where he can engage with everyone.
No.
But convincing him, oh, that would be like convincing a cat to take a bath. It's not impossible. Just
Yeah,
really,
this, I mean, alright, fair enough.
challenging.
Fair enough. That's my community ambassador. I mean, I don't know who would fit that role better, to be honest. C and DK, because all I've been doing is just like talking about the community. That's it. That's all I've been doing, and like, and also hoping that people take this fucking thread seriously. It's the least I can hope for. All right, it's the least I can hope for. Anyway, I agree. Some of those verses rattled me off. Are very strange choices. More like an attempt of mockery to create ridicule of the Christian faith. It's easy pickings, as I don't recall any of the other followings receiving any treatment in that regard. Takova has a point here, by the way. It was definitely not intended to ridicule Christians, and we're sorry it came across that way. We have people of different faiths on the team, and no one here set out to mock any religion. We'll remove the functionality for now, until we can find a better way to get our original message across. So, I find this funny. Anybody playing Dustborn out there right now can't touch the button with White Jesus. Sorry, guys. You'll have to wait. Okay, Losterin, what is this? What is this emote? Oh, also, speaking of Miiverse stuff, I might try and do a Miiverse stream once a week on Monday, so I can just say it's Miiverse Monday. But that is my intent. Oh. Wait, I can't seem to add this. Oh, because I have to sign in. My goodness. Why would it sign me out? I'm always signed in. Always. Oh shit. Okay, there you go. You got it. You got the line meter. Oh, that would explain it. Because, yeah, the UI to add an emote was different. That makes sense. No Dustborn subathon. Oh, true, Lost Turn, true. Well, I don't know if you're ever given an opportunity to fail. Like, I don't think you can die in the game. I know there's combat, and I know there's a health bar, but I don't think at any point throughout the game you can do something so bad that'll just, like, fuck your save. Like, I don't think that's possible. I know, Blue Monarch, it's a bit of a cop-out, but whatever. Let's get back up. Oh my god, Jay. Oh, wait. Oh, you mean you get back up if you lose health? Wait, what? Wait. So as soon as you go down and lose all your health, you just stand back up. Like, what is the point? Why even what? Okay. Look, it's a story game, all right? Then it just seems like bad writing to not explain that in the game. I mean, this is honestly basically the nail in the coffin. Like, this is 100% correct. But it's probably extremely late into development now to fix an error like that. So, well, shit. As explained before, Theo not knowing the proper procedure is a great example, but there's nothing like that at all for Sai. Sai never doubts her own knowledge of the rules. She could have given some dialogue or explanation like, yeah, I pray and wear the hijab sometimes because it helps me feel closer to my family, even though I don't know all the rules and am probably not doing everything right. Simple. There are tons of people in the world who just go through the motions of following the family religion. Others cherry pick the rules and do only the bits that they find convenient. That's fine. That's what real people do. But with a character, it has to be explained somewhere that the character is at fault and not the developer. If a character has a misunderstanding of a religious commandment and proudly repeats that misunderstanding without getting fact-checked, then it comes across that you, the developer, have that misunderstanding. You would be at fault here, not the character. This is exactly what the issue with the issue I had at the start of this was this. This is it. This is what he just said. Everyone else, because I mean, like, what they explained is that Sai makes it more clear later in the game, which is why I have to play the fucking rest of the game, right? I don't like that level of storytelling. Like, oh yeah, Sai says a bunch of fucking crazy shit, but it'll make sense later, bro. Trust me. Like, okay, thanks. Just don't care anymore, my goodness. Poetry makes it a game. Let the police beat me up. Fucking hell. Everyone outside this thread probably believes that you, the developer, and your consultants actually believe that a Muslim can order pork for others without breaking any rules. They blame you, not Sai, because you didn't explain it in the game. It's on you to make a distinction between the misunderstandings of the character and your own misunderstandings as developers, and you didn't do that. This is why, I believe that they probably would have had a scene, like, I know what they're trying to go for. They're trying to have flawed characters in their video game, in their fantasy video game. They're trying to have like humans or whatever. The scene that would have explained this situation, like the whole, and I was even thinking about this today too, because you know it lives rent free in my fucking head. But at the end of chapter 2, that's the only time you get to talk to Sai. You know, before the pork incident, all right, where it would have been a pretty good way to explain why she doesn't like have full commitment to her faith in certain aspects. That would have been a good point to put it in. It probably is there based on one of the dialogue options. I tried to talk about those dialogue options, but they just weren't there. They didn't exist, and that's because Sai kept talking about Ziggy and saying, hey Pax, why are you talking to me so much? Go hang out with your sister, all right? You probably want to hang out with your sister, not me, right? You don't care about me. Go hang out with your sister, Pax. Don't talk to me, don't look at me, all right? Just go have fun with your sister, please, come on. And I'm wondering if that's because, I don't know, again, maybe I'm now reading too much into this, but maybe while she's in that whole get up, she doesn't like talking to people, all right? She doesn't like people seeing her like that, but still does it anyway. That probably could be a reason. It's not explained very well at all, and you just kind of have to infer that based on nothing. But that would have been a good point in the game to have some explanation as to why, you know, the whole scene in chapter 4 happened, just in general. But again, there's no build up. It just kind of happens, and you just kind of have to take it at face value. So whatever. That is true, Loster, and there was a payoff. All right, she was reborn. She has a second chance, okay? She technically died that day. So, fucking hell. That is true, Princey. That's why I don't like the philosophy where it's, dude, it gets better after 40 hours. Just trust me, bro. Trust me. It gets better. Just keep putting more time into it. You'll like it eventually. And it's like, no, if it didn't grab me within like the first hour or 2 of my time, I'm not going to put more time into it. Jesus. Fuck. I'm looking forward to see what you replace it with. I also hope it'll be a win for everyone. If anyone has suggestions about what could fit a giant statue of Jesus in a shopping mall, please feel free to add them here. We'll take all suggestions into consideration. I like this joke, by the way. This is pretty good. I don't know who the fuck is giving out Jester awards, by the way, but I like this joke that, oh yeah, you got a giant statue of Buddha you can put in there too, bro. It's I know they were talking about the, you know, just all the suggestions in general, but like they're gonna fucking airlift out the fucking Jesus statue and replace him with something else. That made me laugh. Thank you. It is more about the verses that the 20-foot Jesus uses. A few more sensible quotes from the Bible, please. Here's a few. I'm not gonna read all these. This is a lot, but you get the idea. All right, more sensible verses. Thanks for the good suggestions. The team's meeting about this tomorrow. The team's meeting about this tomorrow, and we'll make sure these ideas are brought to the table. So this is interesting. I actually don't know how high this particular person ranked. Whoever is behind this account, they seem to be up there. All right, whoever they are, they seem to be part of the core team, and that's interesting to me because this isn't some random intern. Like, I half expected they would just shill off whoever is behind this account to just some guy. just somebody in the office, all right? But no, it seems to be somebody who actually has done something with the game somewhat. You know, Blue Monarch, I probably did get Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know if it gets better. Okay, I will admit to this. Every chapter, aside from chapter 1, has had something absolutely astronomical happen. Whether it be good or bad, something amazing has happened because of each chapter. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep playing each chapter just in case something else crazy is gonna happen, all right? Maybe that's what keeps me going, honestly. Maybe that's what keeps me in. Yes, Hentai, that's somebody on the dev team is actually responding to all of us. It's honestly quite impressive that they're not just like, you know, fucking banning everybody in the chat. Like, they're actually talking, which is nice. Somebody must have gone through and given every single one of the responses a fucking clown award. Who has that kind of time, man? Jesus. Against the good people. That is also true as well. Like, I mean, different from world to world, but I don't think, you know, somebody from the Middle East is gonna just randomly show up into the Dustborn universe one day. We're like, hey guys, I heard there was a they/them around here somewhere. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But it's interesting. Do a Steam ban speedrun. Hentai, just call your account Jimsid 759. Please. We don't have enough Jimsid 759s out there, okay? Actor and she's their star. Whatever the bio was, I like that Dustborn wasn't in the biography. Cause that's kind of funny. ZNDK, I wonder what happened to the rest of the world. Honestly, I hope it's explained in the next issue in chapter 6, because surely it's not just America that has like people with Vox, right? I imagine people around the world have Vox-related issues. And it makes me wonder sometimes, right? Do you think 9/11 happened in the Dustborn universe? Like, just asking for a friend, do you think it happened? And how insane would it be for somebody with fucking superpowers to perform such an act? Like, it would be infinitely worse, and there'd be far more restrictions on everything going forward. Which, honestly, might make sense as to why justice is the way they are, you know? Just saying. Just saying. I'm Washington, D.C. Oh my goodness. Vox is for the Californians. Sorry, wait, did I, okay, no, keep on. Nice. Thank you, Asman. Okay, now. There was a comment. There was a comment after this, right? Just some rando just came into the thread and he's like, hey, Muhammad was a pedophile. Like, okay, weird thing to say at a time like this after we've just gotten some stuff done about Dustborn, but weird nonetheless. So mate, this really isn't the time for a comment like this. Red Thread is finally listening to us. It's just weird. It's just weird to just say that randomly at a time like this. Someone's going for a ban speedrun, obviously. The comment was deleted. Singly deleted, by the way, not a Steam deletion. You can tell that it was deleted by the devs because otherwise my comment would have been deleted as well. Whatever process Steam uses to delete certain comments, chain deletes everybody that responded to it. So mine didn't disappear, meaning it was single-handedly deleted specifically. Happens randomly another way. Like, there'll always be people like that, CND. Even in the other threads right now, it still just randomly happens. Like, fuck. I half expect Jimsid to just pop in one day and be like, fuck bigots, and then just leave. Like thanks, bro. Anyway, not to defend him, but basically every religion systematically has PDF files. PDF files. Also, this is interesting. Loot Hunter coming out. This is before I made the other thread because I now know more about Loot Hunter. Excuse me, I would like to clarify. Are you saying that when you created Jesus statue, you just chosen a few random weird sounding verses for it? And the team didn't think at all about in-game reasoning? Why would someone choose such phrases to put in the mole statue? And they did technically answer this. Oh my goodness, thank you, Microsoft. They clarified it in an earlier post. As to the whole statue was weird. Shopping mall, they made it for that reason. The main reason was that the religion shouldn't be used commercially and that it's supposed to be weird at how corporate it is. Yes, I understand that, but as Houseman pointed out here, which I'm assuming is an earlier post. Okay, yeah, it just links to the other post. I don't know how you do that. That's pretty cool. I want to learn how to do that. If you think about the statue in terms of fictional universe, you would ask a question. What is the thought process of people who put it into the mall? How do they choose the phrases from the Bible to further their corporate goals? In fact, in his other comment, the other one, Houseman already suggested several verses that would fit far better thematically and in a sense of using religion to encourage consumerism. Which begs the question, why? A team that had several years and was supposed to put a lot of effort in handling such complex topics as religion didn't do that. It is interesting. Stream monetized on TikTok. Lost Rune. Wow, there was that brief flashbang. The original Bible verses were intentionally, not randomly, chosen to reinforce the absurdity of the giant-sized mall Jesus statue. I do want to know what happened in the dev room the day that they were like, hey, let's put a big old Jesus in it. Let's make him say weird shit. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Like, I understand, like, there probably was good reasoning behind it, but without any build-up or any expectation to why there's just a giant Jesus here. It's just here. Like, it's an abandoned mall. Like, what? There's no reference to it. There's no discussion about it. It's just there. It's just a big old Jesus. But there he is. I know earlier they mentioned, like, you know, Ziggy and Eli having a comment about the Jesus. If you take that comment, and let's say Ziggy said something about, oh, look, the fucking commercial Jesus is here or some shit, like white commercial Jesus is back. Like, they were talking about this guy so much on TV, using him to sell like Happy Meals or some shit. Like, it'd probably make a little bit more sense in general, you know, if there was somebody explaining it, even just in passing, like a one line of dialogue or something, just a throwaway line, said slightly earlier before you can interact with the statue. Some research of Egypt. Dude, Princey, that sounds a lot like the Miiverse RPs I've been reading as of late. Nobody with any knowledge on how Yu-Gi-Oh fucking works RPing how Yu-Gi-Oh is supposed to work in their minds. God. They didn't tell us, like in universe, Zakova, in universe, did they say why it's in there? Because I know Red Thread said it, but the characters in the game, did they say it? Jay, fuck. Thanks for the clarification. Though, if I may have a suggestion, what if you rename your message as using religion and religious icons for commercial purposes is manipulative and erodes that very religion values? After all, if it was just absurd.
TTS for amplification. Norway's a Christian nation. The age of the developers should be mine or above, surely. This means Christianity would have been a mandated teaching while they were in school. What?
Oh, true.
How? Why would they cite from a wacky Bible verses article?
It is a bit odd that they did take it from like, surely they know, alright? Surely they know. Well, no, Lostrin, that's the thing though. Their team was very diverse, so only like one person had Christian values in the team. Everybody else had different religious values, alright? Only one person. They had to, the article was for everybody else, alright? It's a diverse team. You gotta know that, alright? Anyway, after all, if it was just absurd, there wouldn't be so many evangelicals who managed to turn their sermons into a profitable attraction, and Christmas season wouldn't become such a sales-heavy... What? Okay, since you're already looking into replacing verses, maybe you better focus on that aspect of exploitation and not absurdity. Of course, that's only a suggestion. You are developers, so that's your call. It's an American game. Oh yeah, it's a Norwegian-made American game. Like, it's a game about America and traveling the states, you know, on a road trip with your buddies, but it's made by Norwegians is the thing. So like, interesting. It's very interesting. I really like the part where they went to a service station, not a gas station. I like that. That was funny. This is true, and good suggestion. The dev team is currently discussing what changes to implement, and your feedback will definitely be taken into consideration. Also, GG Nico, welcome to the stream as well. Lost stream. I mean, you're not wrong, all right? You're not wrong. Then page 2. It's your boy. He's back.
Wow! This is the most mature and interesting conversation I've read on this thread about the game. And Red Thread engaging with the actual community of the game is very much something I would expect from such a passionate team. Great work! Keep it up!
I just like, what a fucking retard this guy is. Like, the most mature and interesting conversation. My brother in Christ, my brother in white Jesus, you too can also have mature and interesting conversations with this one neat trick. Don't be a fucking jackass to people. Maybe listen to them. And you can have some cool and interesting conversations. Don't just blast, oh, you're reported for harassment and bigotry. Listen to them, bro. Like, talk to them. Holy shit. It's that easy. Oh my God. I'm so glad Jimsid was like on fucking vacation for the first half of this whole discussion thread. If Jimsid was here at the start, Red Thread probably would never have responded. Like, just hands down. Like, I am so glad Jimsid decided to hibernate until everything was discussed first. Jesus Christ. And of course, like, his appearance was very threatening in general, because he's like a fucking, you know what he is? He's like, you know, in-game universe, in Dustborn, for example, he's like a fucking person who can use Vox, who's gonna go Nova. Like, he has at any moment, at any point, he can just explode and nuke the entire thread by himself. He has that capability to do so. Like, he can do it. I'm glad he didn't though, or hasn't yet, because he really can. All it would take, by the way, if you're wondering, was that somebody replies to him, he responds to that, somebody replies to that, and then the reports start coming in, and then he starts flooding Steam moderation team with reports of harassment and bigotry, and then Steam steps in, sees that there's a fucking thread called about religion, and then Steam probably just nukes the whole fucking thing. So I'm glad he didn't do that. Flustering. I wish he would buy the game like 3 times, you know? If you're wondering, I don't know if I can find it, by the way. Hang on. How would I go about finding it? It's called the crew review, right? Was what the thing was called? Yeah. His secondary account, this is a different account, by the way. His secondary account is not banned, but I think I saw this. Also, fucking rip in pieces Jimzig, by the way. Oh, sorry, Jizigzag. Jesus Christ. Where was it? So this is weird, right? His main account is still banned, and I don't know why. Because I'm pretty sure on stream I checked it, like, fucking probably about a week ago or so. He was unbanned. His main account, as to my knowledge, has not said anything in this discussion thread since he got banned the first time. But between his unbanning, he just randomly got banned again somehow. So I don't know what caused that. But his main account is just fucking locked, I guess, now. Honestly, that might have prompted his reason to make a 3rd account. But who knows? Princey, for context, basically, I haven't reached that point in the game yet where they actually do it, because I know somebody does do it. But a person who does have the superpower for, you know, the voice-related powers using Vox, They at any point, based on emotions or echoes or some bullshit, I haven't reached that point in the game, they're able to just explode. Like, they can just self-destruct. I don't know how, I don't know why, they can just do it. All right, so I'm sure there's a reason for that. Fucking way too dead. It's a good fucking emote for that. It's basically that. Pull the game to talk about it. So, interesting you say that, Blue Monarch. He hasn't posted, oh, there's like this moon with threads. Wait, what? Jordan. No one's posted in the game forum thread, by the way. Like, there's this, but this isn't really much of anything. It's just Soph and a dev comment, and that's it. So that's about it. That's the only new post that's happened somewhat recently. Like, you know, somewhat recently. Jimsid hasn't made a post here, and I don't know why. Despite him wanting a safe space to talk about the game, he doesn't use it. It's absurd to me. Like, he literally has the power to comment in there at any point. Granted, all he'd have to do is buy the game a second or third time. So, he can do it, you know? He hasn't done it yet. I've been wondering about the axiom, and can we conclude that the entity is the true leader of the Puritans, and despite the overseer who seems to be in control is just a right hand? It'd be a safe guess that the axiom is actually considerably older than the childlike portrayal in the game. Zakova, asking for spoilers. I haven't seen the end of the game yet, so I don't know what Zakova's referencing here, but that is interesting. Also, I'll talk about this in a second. I wish we could respond to that comment, but it feels like it's way too soon to spoil anything. But you're not wrong. Let's leave it at that. Very suspicious, very coy. Now, so Jimsid, the guy who has been hyping up the devs since day one. Well, day one allegedly. All right. He finally gets a response from the dev team himself, or dev team themselves, and gets a thank you heart. I find this incredibly funny. Like, Redthread, this developer account, has been responding at length to many of us beforehand, like giving us well thought out, like detailed responses to a lot of our queries and concerns and even suggestions. To Jimsid, the guy who idolizes them so much just gets a thank you. That's it. That's a flat line it. And like, I wonder if the account behind this knows about Jimsid. I'm just curious. He hasn't gone nuclear yet, as far as I'm aware, with Redthread being active. So who knows? Who honestly knows? Anyway, you know, cliffhangers are the worst form of entertainment in my opinion. However, I need to know. Cliffhangers can be super annoying. We know. We've been there before. We actually didn't intend for this to be a traditional cliffhanger, but rather a setup for a potential sequel. Again, I can't wait to play the Dustborn 2. The crew made it to the end of the road, and everyone gets an ending, but we can see how this particular part of the story feels like a cliffhanger. We have some ideas on how to give players a little more context and explanation without having to wait for a theoretical sequel. Yeah. And we're discussing how to add that to a future content update. It won't be in the next one, but hopefully not too far away. It's clearly a different guy behind the account. I actually, Zakova brought that up before in DMs, that like, whoever is behind this account is not the same person who was probably like either locking threads or dismissing claims earlier, like a couple weeks ago. It doesn't seem like the same person. Whoever is behind this is more down to earth, I would say, than whoever the fuck is, whatever Deb is posting on Twitter. All right, completely unrelated guy, as far as I'm aware. The guy who fucking emailed the dev team, by the way, just gets a thank you. It's like, all right, fucking hell. Oh, Lostrin, you mean for like Jimsid? Yeah, different guy. Unrelated to the Jimsid with the portal icon, alright. You just wait, Lostron, alright? Dustborn 1 was so successful. Dustborn 2 is gonna break fucking records, alright? It's gonna break records. Anyway. Thank you for the bone. I will now try to extract as much marrow as I can decipher from that information. May I be cheeky and inquire about the next content update? Roughly date-wise? I'm not supposed to say, but very soon. How cheeky of the dev to say this. Of course, that update won't include any cliffhanger remedies, but there's lots of other stuff. Hopefully, some of which will improve the experience and reduce friction. So, you heard it here first, guys. I say here first, whoever's in the fucking thread heard it first, but now you're hearing it for a second time. There's a future content update planned for release very soon. What a time to be a Dustborn gamer, let me tell you. What a time. Fucking Blue Mana. I wonder if whoever those two people are ever talk to each other on a regular basis. If the fucking guy behind the Red Thread developer account on Steam came out saying that he's the same guy on Twitter, I wouldn't believe it. Not even for a second, I wouldn't believe it. Like, no. Not the same people. Otherwise, he would have shut down from what people were saying in this thread earlier. Like, I feel like Red Thread was a bit under blast from the religious comments earlier in this thread, but I'm glad they addressed them, which was kind of nice. Anyway, I chimed in because, you know, might as well. That's really exciting. I look forward to seeing what future content gets added. Thanks! We're discussing some ideas, but we'd very much like input from people who've played the game about what they'd like to see changed, improved, and expanded upon. I don't know if make a different game or rewrite all the dialogue would be particularly helpful. We'll probably ignore those requests. That's understandable. But it'd be fun to get some feedback and ideas from actual players. Dude, what a time to be an actual Dustborn player though, for real. And you know what's so funny about this? Jimsid hasn't fucking played the game. He's probably still got 29 minutes on his account. Like, fucking hell. You got more than just... Oh, yeah, also true, yes. Like, they could have just said, like, oh, thanks, in response, but nah. Heck of a lot more than Jimsid. Fucking Christ. Maybe, Lostern. Whoever it is really good at dealing with, people. As far as I'm aware. Because again, whoever the dev is on Twitter was not very good at dealing with people, alright? They were very not okay with people and other opinions. Anyway, this may not be the right thread for that, but we'd be happy to support and contribute to a thread that digs into potential changes, fixes, upgrades, and updates to content and game mechanics. It's worth noting that there is a Dustborn Discord. I am not a part of that Discord. I haven't actually gone to it yet. I have no real intention to, because I don't really do anything in Discord anyway, other than like post memes. So I would have nothing to do there. I'm more concerned about their Steam stuff, and I will continue to, like, you know, post bugs and stuff to Steam threads and shit. But I know they probably have a spot for that on the Discord, but I don't know how many people actually, like, you know, follow their Discord page and like regularly give them, you know, updates and ideas and stuff. But interesting. Anyway, edit. It might be a good idea to put such a thread inside the for game owners only section on the forum. Edit part 2. Oh, and suggestions could absolutely include things like improved character development and narrative gaps. At some point, we might do some additional dialogue recordings. This is interesting. If they're genuinely serious about this, I would love to see just a little bit more explanation as to why Sai, you know, does the things she does in chapter 4 a little bit before chapter 4, even if it's like a throwaway line, like she doesn't fully believe in being Muslim but wants to follow in her mother's footsteps or whatever, or be closer to her mum's side or whatever. If she says that before that scene, it probably wouldn't come across as very abrasive. That's just my thought on the whole thing. But like, because I know stuff like that comes up after chapter 4, which is a bit of a, you know, too late. She's already said it. Like, it's interesting to have it after the fact. Did he refund? That's the other Jimsid account. Oh no, he didn't. You can't see playtime from somebody who has their account privated. And when Sarge called out Jimsid's account, like, hey man, you've only got 29 minutes on your account, it's because I guess Jimsid felt attacked and decided to private everything. He only privated that account. His other 2 accounts are not private, but he doesn't fucking own games on them anyway, so it doesn't even matter. The demo is 29 minutes, but he owns the wait, hang on. If you Zakova, I don't actually know much about Steam, but if you download the demo and play it, does it still give you this mouse icon? Or do you have to actually own the game to have the mouse icon? Like, I don't know if playing a demo lets you have this icon. No? Okay. So, yeah, he definitely bought it then. But 29 minutes is not a lot of time. Yeah, Lost Rune. That's when he made the post about, like, you know, the... I don't have it up here, but that crew review was when he had, like, 29 minutes on his account. He barely played the game at all, and probably still hasn't really played the game at all. He just likes blasting people for no reason. Jay, I don't like him either. I really don't like him. But fucking hell, dude. There was, I mean, he might be active right now, who knows? I'll probably refresh the main page to see if, like, Jimsid's around, but I don't know yet. Anyway, Zeppelin decided to bring up old news for no fucking reason. This was while I was sleeping, by the way, so Zakova, I didn't actually see this post until I woke up this morning, which is why I responded, like, later in the morning. Like, check that clip. Yeah, breaks the logic watching your porks. It doesn't matter. You don't get to decide what is good or bad for Psy. You don't get to decide what is extremely bad for Muslims, even if you are one. I'm not one, by the way. I guess you didn't read the first post. You only have that power to decide what is bad for yourself. I know somebody later already answered it, and I answered it later, but he's right. I don't. But her religion does. Her religion has rules and guidelines that she must follow in order to be a believer of that faith. It just a flat line in general. That's the bad part, Zeppelin. That's the bad part. Dude, the only ones who decide what is better for religion... Sorry. The only ones who decide what is better for religion practitioners are prophets, and sometimes heads of the church. That's true for every religion. In fact, that's the whole point of religion. If Quran... I'm not going to call this out, but he spelled it incorrectly. Says that Muslims shouldn't buy pork, that's a rule for all Muslims. Unknown Samurai doesn't decide what is good and bad behavior for Muslims, just citing the sources. Thank you, Loot Hunter, I appreciate that. Well, science seems to obey some of the 5 pillars clearly. We, however, are only observers to the faith of others, and thoughts about how we interpret those observations are from a personal perspective, and in Sai's case, they are aligned with confusion from our knowledge in certain scenes as perceived in the remarkable bacon salad fiasco. It was a weird thing for her to do, just in general.
Shut up, Samu. I'm a believer and follower of Jesus, so I shall go on to kill in cold blood, cheat on my wife, steal from the poor and turn wine into water.
Lester, and it's funny you say that, because that's what I responded with. That's what I responded with. I was like, well, if you steal something, can you still consider yourself a Christian? If you kill another person or convince somebody else of murder, can you still call yourself a Christian? Because that's literally like what happened. I don't know how to describe it any other way. Also, this is interesting from Zakova. We would like to go into the in the owner's forum, but no one really goes in there. And trying to gather recommendations for improvements and character development should include other players who may not own the game on Steam. And having the discussion in the public, I think helps brings ideas to the forefront and a wider audience in general. This is true. I would actually kind of be sad if they put a thread like that in the game owners only, because again, that place is a wasteland. There's nothing in there. It's empty. I agree, don't have it. Sorry. I agree, don't have the game on Steam. Wait, what? Oh, I don't have the game on... I don't have the game on Steam either. True, Houseman's playing on something else. That's his main account was friends only. Yeah. Well, it might not even be friends only. It might just be private in general. Like, even if I were to be his friend, which, you know, he'd never friend me. I don't think I'll be able to see it regardless. Fair points. We didn't consider players on other platforms who wouldn't have access to the Steam Games owner forum. Hopefully, yeah, I wonder whose idea was it to make the thread in the first place. Hopefully, a thread like that won't descend into off-topic arguments and name-calling. We'll cross our fingers and hope for the best. I mean, with enough, you know, perception, you could keep it from deterring into that. There are a lot of bad... Like, another reason why I made this thread was to hopefully get an idea on who may or may not be a bad apple, so to speak, based on their responses. I mean, again, Jimsid, Zeppelin, looking at you two, alright? The Andrew guy, bit questionable, alright? Bit questionable. But those two, maybe three, are a bit weird, okay? Kudos to the developers for responding and engaging with this thread, but the only logical explanation for the Jesus statue at the mall is that they intended to offend and or critique Christians. How are you going to have a Jesus monument, but then quote only the Old Testament? I mean, you're a bit late for this, Taiwan number one. You're a bit late. We've already moved past this point. Like, they've already explained it, and they're already looking to fix it. So it's a bit late. Andrew's team bad sometimes. He does say something, like, I haven't seen many good things from him. It's usually blasting people with buzzwords, like, you know, the others. But, like, you know, I'll take his word for it. All right, he likes Ragnar Tornquest. All right, I'm curious. Anyway, my response. I think this is the last thing. I don't know if this got updated, but you're right. I don't, but her religion does. I was thinking about how this could be comparable to something like Christianity. Think of the whole pork thing like one of the 10 Commandments. For example, if a Christian person were to commit theft intentionally, could they still consider themselves a believer of that faith? Or should they ask for forgiveness and confess their sins to a pastor at church? You know, thou shalt not steal. Now, what if a Christian were to convince another non-Christian that stealing is a good thing and that they should do it, even going so far as to give them encouraging advice on how they could steal? Can that person still call themselves an honest-to-God Christian? Same goes for committing murder or assisting someone else commit a sin like that. I didn't think about this until I posted it, that Theo technically... I know the chap, like, he's not like a proper Christian, all right? He even says that. So the reason why he would even like consider resorting to stealing theft from justice, like, it makes sense for his character, all right? It's not like he's a devout Christian who fully believes in like all of the things. He said as much. I wish Sai would say as much. That's just a thought. Sai doesn't show any remorse for the actions at the diner, and going so far as to saying it's just a prank, bro. Hopefully you can see why someone would find this as an issue. Again, imagine a Christian getting someone else to kill someone and then being like, it was just a prank. Oh, sorry, it was just a joke. Relax, bro. I'm gonna go to church now. If you think this is an extreme comparison, then you clearly don't know how bad pork is for Muslims. Anyway, I'm willing to pass this off for now, as I can see what the devs were going for. Usually, stories have a setup and payoff, but it seems the setup for Sai's action come after Chapter 4. I'm personally not a fan of this type of storytelling, but based on the response from the devs earlier, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Things in video games get cut all the time, and I would like to believe there might... I keep fucking misspelling there. I've misspelled there like 17 times in the last like 3 days. The brain rot's finally getting to me. To believe there might have been a scene or two about Sai's conflicted belief before Chapter 4 that never made it into the main game. Which would be... Like, again, the end of Chapter 2 is where I think they would have had a scene like that, and that might have gotten cut based on, you know, people on the team maybe not liking what was said. If it like may or may not offend certain people. That's just what I think anyway. Isn't it? Maybe Jay. I'm not sure actually. I mean, either way, they're gonna have to do something to fix it. They're gonna have to do something for it to be done well. It's because of the person on the team Blue Monarch. They mentioned it earlier that Psy's beliefs are based on the voice actor for Psy, who is part Muslim, part Hindu, because of their background. Which, if you just say that Psy is part Muslim, part Hindu, alright, and only draws from certain beliefs of certain aspects, that would be a much better job than just saying she's Muslim. Because that narrows it down. That makes it one thing, not a branch of two things. It's a self-insert. Lostrian, I think all of the things are self-inserts. Yes, Psy is a self-insert. Absolutely. You can, if you look at the actress, granted, there's a bit of a size comparison for the actress and the and Psy, but the facial features and colorization and stuff are all like, it's basically a self-insert. So Pax is a self-insert. I don't know who did the voice for Pax. I know the name was brought up before, but I imagine Pax is also a self-insert, but we'll see. Nothing to concede. Yeah, if they fill in some blanks, like let's say hypothetically there's a big content update in the future that fills in a lot of controversies that people have with the game, right? And it's like Dustborn 1.5, all right, mega update, all right, added 50 new lines of dialogue. Okay, I know 50, big for this game, right? But like that would also give me enough reason to want to play through the game again if they say that they address it. Like, because you know, if I want to get all the fucking achievements, I'd have to play the game at least 3 times. All right, whether I do those on stream or off stream, we'll see. Okay. Dustborn 2. from Dustborn to Soulsborn. When's that gonna happen? Fucking hell. Anyway, I think that's basically the end of what I wanted to catch up on. There was the Jimsid stuff. There was other stuff in a different thread about Jimsid. Hang on. Oh my god. I don't think... Wait, Gurney H. Who the fuck is Gurney H? I'm trying to remember. I don't know if Jimsid... Oh, right. It hasn't popped off yet because Jimsid said something about, oh, you should want games with more diversity and inclusivity, and then Houseman responded with that with a pretty level-headed comment. But Jimsid did not respond to Houseman, and I imagine Jimsid is going to respond to Houseman sometime soon. I don't know when, and I forgot what thread that was in, but I imagine that's going to happen. Frame roll. Well, they can already dodge roll in the game, Blue Monarch. You can dodge roll. There's no parrying or anything like that yet, though. You know, there's combat. There's Soulsborn combat, all right. Oh, I must have closed it. I do want to actually. Oh fuck, that's that guy again. I'm still using his fucking imagery. I want to check just real quick if Jimsid is currently on the prowl. If he's currently awake. I don't think so. I can't imagine why he would be. Oh, thank God. I hope he stays silent forever. Well, it's also difficult to tell if he's actually like posting at all. Oh well, hang on. Sorry, I need his third account to comment in this thread because it's the easiest thread to go to get both Jimsid accounts. So hang on, I haven't checked this account in a while because I think he stopped using it. Yeah, fucking what? He hasn't done anything in ages. Wait, appreciation posts. Small budget unknown game with no big franchise behind it. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore Bandai Namco, all right? We're just gonna ignore them, right? Nah, Bandai had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. So what update death gonna be like? Wait. Switch to administration. Lost her. Wait, I don't know. I don't know where that was leading. Was that? Wait, hang on. What's going on here, by the way? Is my computer freaking out? Did YouTube change something? Hold on. Wait, this looks new. I have never noticed this before. Let me put it over here. Do you guys see this down the bottom, right? Wasn't this always red? My eyes are deceiving me here. It doesn't look very red. That's new YouTube? Well, they made it magenta now? Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, because it's like very magenta towards the end of the video. Interesting. Hold on, Project Ethos. I lost it. Here it is. I want to see his other, you know, his main account. Damn, I still feel bad for Zigzags. I also don't think Screwed's done anything. Hold on, let me check. Screwed might have been hired by another company to go talk about their games. No, he's gone. He's just gone. Screwed. It's been like nearly a month. What the fuck? What happened to him? Did the pink gradient? Oh my goodness. Just gets fairies instead of poetry. they caught him. Fuck. I know he's still banned here, but I imagine he's been saying some shit in Unknown 9. Like, I mean, whoa, he hasn't. Wait, why not? Interesting. This is like, I find this strange because why post on a sock puppet account? Like, for the majority, why not use your main? Is there a reason for that? I mean, he's probably banned like literally everywhere, like in all of the threads. He's probably got a month ban all over the place. But Jesus. Catching up with Dustborn. Yeah, how am I supposed to know if he's playing a game or not? All right. Oh my god. Temperature journal. Either way, that's probably gonna be the end for tonight. Wait, this is 19 posts. Hang on. Gurney H. Wait, somebody new commented. Hold on. Please, Gurney H, tell me why you're here. I'm curious. Jimsid. No, get him out of here. Banned from that one now. God. Don't antagonize him, Gurney H, please. He's gonna get all mailed. Please. I don't want that here. Anyway, that's gonna be the end for today. I just wanted to just talk about this stuff. The next time I stream, which most likely will be tomorrow night, will be the next chapter of Dustborn. If I'm lucky enough, I can probably smash out the rest of the game within like the next week and a half. Ideally. But until then, let me swap on over.